not even need Bauer's game for me.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Squiggly Worms from Golden Games. This is for 2 to 4 players, ages 4+, no batteries required. And this is the old school game in which you're going to have a big old apple right in the middle. You're going to crank one of those loud, annoying timers. And then you're going to try to be picking out worms. And these worms are going to have different colors on the bottom. And there's going to be a couple different game modes that you can play. Some will utilize the cards. Some will just have you pulling out of there. And you pretty much know what you're getting with this. So we're going to get, if you want to see exactly how it's played, we shot at Bauer Family Learns. Check that out. Click it right up there. But I'm just going to be doing the review for Squiggly Worms. So let's go over the pros. Let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, it only goes up to 2 to 4 players. Very restricted player count. Also, the game is insanely light and insanely simple. This is going to be a game that's probably going to go from ages like 2 to, I'd say, 8, 9-ish before they start losing interest. And that's the full extent of it. I would say the sweet spot is between the age of, say, 4 to 7. I think 4 to 7 in that range is still going to have a good fun with it. After that, yeah, a little bit too simple. Also, would have liked to see a little bit more variety, maybe some more different variants that you could play with in this game, because it does have some really cool components, and there is some potential for some interesting ideas to put in place for even making slightly more complex games. So you could actually add to the age range of this game, and I'm sure you could house rule some pretty interesting rules for this as well. Any other cons that I have with it? Not really. I mean, you know what you're getting here. Moving on to the pros, I enjoyed Squiggly Worms. My 4-year-old and my 7-year-old enjoyed Squiggly Worms, and the kids in my class enjoyed Squiggly Worms, and that's pretty much all you need to know about it. Every single kid that I've played this with, aged 4 to about 7, 8 years old, have enjoyed the game to some extent. Now, has it been one they've wanted to play over and over and over and over and over again? Yes, if they're younger, not so much if they're older. And it's a game that it lasts like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. It is an insanely short game, easy to learn, easy to teach, and one that if you find at a thrift store, I can recommend. Just make sure it has all the worms. Unfortunately, we're missing one of the worms, but still you can play most of the games without it. You just have to kind of slightly modify things. You can also use it potentially as a handicap for the person who might be the youngest. They might not have to get one of the worms. Different things like that you can come up with. But overall, Squiggly Worms, I thought, was a very good children's game. Now, you know what? I'm going to go and say that I think this is a great children's game, as long as you realize that I am talking about for children age 2 to 4. 2 to 4. I think that's a great range. Also, it says ages 4+. I'm talking about letting toddlers do this, where you can start working on colors and grabbing and the fine motor skills. And I'm totally popping on my teacher brain, my early childhood education brain right here. I think it's a great game for 2 to 4 years old. I think it's a very good game for 5 to 6 years old. And I think it's a good game for 7 to 8 years old. And then I think it's a meh to slightly boring game for anyone older than that. And that is what I think about Squiggly Worms. If you enjoy what I'm doing, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. Consider liking the channel, doing all that good stuff, or supporting the Patreon down below, because it really does help me out an awful lot. And in the comments below, let me know. What is your favorite fruit of all time? For me personally, I want to say bananas. I really like bananas, but you know what? I'm gonna go with pineapple. I'm going to go with pineapple, but mostly just because I love the juice so much. If it's just talking straight fruit, I'm going banana. But if we're counting the juice along with the fruit, I'm going to go pineapple. Even though dragon fruit, I found out a couple months ago, is spectacular. Looks like all weird and viney, but man, it tastes really good. Super expensive, though, at least where I am. But let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite fruit of all time? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.